Hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be discussing something that you have all suggested me to make. First things first, today we are going to talk about the sigils and which to unlock. First, let's start with Captain Loki. His sigil increases his damage when he attacks the target or any target with higher than 50% HP, which will increase his EX skill effect by 33.75%. This is a bit inconsistent, but it's still quite good if your main DPS is Captain Loki, but overall it's not a priority sigil to upgrade. Next, we have Tywin Sui. Tywin Sui's sigil removes his what's it called again? The removal of battle spirit from self. So every battle spirit that he accumulates will stay. That's a really good sigil. And if you have like 9 battle spirits, his damage increase is increased by 20%, not only for his ultimate but also for his basic attack, which is pretty good. So if you have Tywin Sui at 3-star, then you should use your sigil on him. This is a high priority sigil to unlock, which increases the quality of life and it removes the need to reset his battle spirit. Next, we have Bud. Bud's sigil is also pretty good. Like, it kind of depends though, cause like compared to Tywin Sui, where he can switch targets very effectively, or technically, yeah, he can switch targets whenever he wants. But for Bud, he's only better if it's in a bossing scenario, you know, because chisel marks will only affect the first target he hits with his 2CD ultimate. When you think about it, this sigil is a 4CD skill, which is still not bad because it doubles his damage essentially. So if you have Bud and you unlock his sigil, it's also pretty good. It's definitely somewhat of a priority sigil if you think about it. Next, we have Cho Yu Hun. Cho Yu Hun's sigil is global. When enemy alive is equal to 5, on damage dealt is increased by 20%. This global also affects his normal attacks, and it's pretty good on Extreme Peaks and Wood Tower. So if you have Cho Yu Hun at 3-star, this is also pretty good to raise. Next, we have Kumoyama. Kumoyama completely changes how he plays. On top of increased healing and increased shielding, his ultimate now, his counter attack actually, also hits everyone on the field. So if you have 3-star Kumoyama and you want to unlock his sigil, this is a pretty good sigil which changes his playstyle. So you can actually use your sigil key on Kumoyama. Next, we have Mang. Mang adds another layer of survivability. By how, you may ask? For example, after he uses ultimate, the next turn where your unit gets hit, not only Mang but everyone gets hit, they will heal 1 layer base of their attack, which is pretty good. So that means you have 1 turn of extra survivability because of Mang. So if you have Mang at 3-star and you want to use the sigil unlock on him, sure, you may do that. It's a pretty good sigil. Next, we have Beerox. I don't really like how Beerox sigil is a bit RNG. Like, it should be fine if it's only a basic attack, or like, well, technically if it also affects his basic attack, but since it is RNG, well, despite how big the attack boost is, you can't really rely on Beerox's RNG when it comes to increasing your damage output. So I wouldn't say that Beerox's sigil is a priority. But if you have Beerox at 3-star and you want to unlock his sigil, then sure, why not? It's just that it's not a priority. Next, we have Kafka. Kafka Sigil immediately increases his multiplier by 70%. That turns him into a really good nuker. So if you have like Kafka at 3-star and you want to unlock his Sigil, go ahead. It's a pretty good Sigil. Next, we have Kyon. Kyon, let's just say he revives your team by a 50% chance, a random body, and heals 25% of his HP. And well, technically, I don't really want to rely on this kind of sigil, even though it's good for like casual gameplay. In towers where you have to sacrifice a body and such, it's pretty RNG as well, and you might need to take multiple runs to make full use of Kyon. But if you have a 3-star Kyon and you want to unlock his sigil, then go ahead. But it's still not that much of a priority. Well, it's still pretty good, but let's just say it's kinda okay. Next, we have Akoni Atsushi. Akoni Atsushi turns into a really, what's it called again? A proper tank. He will survive any hits, and his HP will not fall below 1% for 1 turn. It's pretty good, but at the moment, we don't really need a proper tank, to say. So you may save your sigil for Akoni, but if you already 3-star Kumoyama and you already unlock his sigil, I don't think you really need Akoni specifically if you think about it. Next, we have Ktos. Ktos sigil just makes his exorcism spell passive available on his ultimate. It's pretty good for the immediate, what's it called again? Purify. Immediate purify for the team. And also, his sigil passive, chance to be silenced minus 50%, paralyzed, put to save minus 50%. It's pretty good, so that you are guaranteed to be able to clear the debuffs on your team. Ktos sigil changes a lot of things, so it's actually good to save your sigil key for Ktos if Ktos is your main healer. Next, we have Bjun Wagyu. Bjun Wagyu's heals are mostly from his basic attack and his passive main vocal, which will heal quite a lot. In fact, that's actually better than his ultimate if you don't raise his ultimate specifically. But on EX kill, 33% chance to heal our own bodies by extra blah blah blah. A bit of an RNG again. I don't like RNG sigil, so you are not that much of a priority. You're good regardless without your sigil. Next, we have Shibahiko. Shibahiko is only good if we have a proper shielder later, quote unquote. Orem, maybe eventually, but for now, just save your sigil key. Next, we have Dalawan. Dalawan's also a bit of an RNG. For own bodies, upon receive healing, there is a 50% chance to trigger own damage dealt increased by 20% for 1 turn. Well, this would be okay, but on top of it only being 1 turn and it's an RNG when you receive heal, it's not that good of a sigil, so you can skip your sigil key and not use it on Dalawan. Next, we have Cho Yu Hun. The problem with Cho Yu Hun is that if you only use him alone and without Namyun, if you kill the enemy in front of you that has poison, his wind slash passive is pretty much dead. So this makes it so that if the enemy in front of you is dead, you can still use Cho Yu Hun wind slash on others, which is pretty good. It's a priority, what's it called again? A priority sigil if you main Cho Yu Hun as your main damage dealer. Next, we have Code B. Code B's multiplier increases from like 160% to 220, which turns him into a proper 3 CD damage dealer, if you think about it. Then we have target increased damage taken by 30%, which is pretty good. So if you main Code B, or if you ask if Code the Sigil is pretty good or not. Overall, it's pretty good, so you should raise code B Sigil. Then we have Guala. What makes Guala interesting is that it increases the damage taken by 100%, doubles your damage for one turn. Remove the effect after damage is taken, doesn't matter, you can just nuke one enemy out and you're gone. That's it. Guala Sigil is game changing, so you might want to save your key for Guala. You are very extraordinary. And I guess that's it.